Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name is Ross, and as always told, out of Voice Radio. So today, we've got another new tag team supporter card to talk about. I thought it was Sunday, I thought it was safe, I was not expecting any news today. I thought we had seen all the cards coming out in Cosmic Eclipse, but no, ladies and gentlemen. You see, there are two other tag team supporters coming out in Cosmic Eclipse. And they're not in any of the Japanese sets that have been released so far. So we don't know exactly where they're coming from. But we can have a look at Misty and Lorei, and ladies and gentlemen, Misty and Lorei are awesome. This is a really good card. It's been revealed, I believe, by IGN Brazil. So I hit up the lovely Nick Pearce, my most Brazilian friend. Half Brazilian. And according to the lovely Nick, what it does is search your deck for free water energies, reveal them, and put them into your hand. Okay, it's kind of underwhelming. When you play this card, you may discard 5 other cards from your hand. If you do, during this turn, your water Pokemon can use their GX attacks, even if you've already used a GX attack. That, ladies and gentlemen, is over the top phenomenal good. This is, and please do correct me in the comment section if I've missed one, to my mind, this is only the second time we've seen a card that allows you to reuse your GX attacks. As a side note, anyone name the original one? It's Bonnie. We did get Bonnie back in Forbidden Light, which does allow you to use the GX attacks of Zygarde. Now, Zygarde, there are actually 2 different GXs, so you do get your choice of GX attack to use, but it was just for Zygarde. You could use Zygarde GX or the other Zygarde GX, but they were essentially your options. And people tried playing with it, but it was never quite good enough. Well, here, ladies and gentlemen, here we could be absolutely rolling. And yes, in a moment, I will run through all the relevant GX attacks. Don't you worry your pretty little heads about it. Starting off, searching for free energy is underwhelming. Searching for free energy and being restricted to water is downright bad. We've got Lady. And Lady lets you search for 4 basic energy cards. And Lady lets you search for any 4 basic energy cards. They are not restricted to a particular type. So I feel extremely confident in saying that if you're using this as a supporter card just to get yourself some extra energy, just don't. Just honestly, just don't, right? It's not worth it. It's not good enough. Lady is, by a huge margin, a better option as a supporter card searching out energy. So just ignore it, ladies and gentlemen. Just ignore it. It's not even worth your time worrying about. But it's a tag team supporter card, so you get to discard some cards from your hand, and discarding 5 is a lot, right? It is significantly more than the other tag team supporter cards we've seen. I will pop links to all the other tag team supporter cards in the description, so do please check them out. Yes, obviously I'll rank them. Just give me a little bit of a minute, alright? Give me a minute. But reusing a water GX attack, that, ladies and gentlemen, that is something I can get completely on board with. And honestly here, there aren't that many. Now, if we look in the standard format, so we're looking Ultra Prism on, there are 10 GXs and 2 tag team GXs that we can essentially roll with here. They are our options, that's what we can do. So if we start off with the tag team GXs, we've got Slowpoke and Psyduck. Flip a coin. If heads, this attack does 100 more damage. If this Pokemon has at least 6 extra water energy, you flip 10 coins and do 100 more damage for each head. It's 8 energy, it's a lot, but you can do a huge amount of damage. The one that really intrigues me here is Magikarp and Wailord. Because you see, Magikarp and Wailord, now you need 8 water energy on, right? 8 water energy is huge, but let's not forget you can use Naganadel to accelerate energy onto the field, and then you can use Quagsire to move it over, so it is possible. It's awkward, but it is possible. And I suppose I should mention the new Kyogre here. The Kyogre we're going to get has an attack for one colorless energy, and it lets you attach 2 water energy from your discard pile to one of your benched Pokemon. So that's not coming out to Cosmic Eclipse, same set as this, but that is going to be an option for accelerating a little bit of extra energy. But when you do, Magikarp and Wailord does 100 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. But you got 300 HP, that's the most HP in the game at the moment, which means you are extremely likely to be able to take a couple of hits here. It is very likely you're going to be able to tank a couple of hits here. And if you can use this attack 2 or 3 times, you will literally clear your opponent's entire board. Get 8 energy on, do 100 to all your opponent's bench, and unless they've actually got something to KO 300 HP Pokemon right now, you're doing 100 next turn as well. And of course, you can always switch to the bench, use Quagsire to move the energy over to a new Magikarp and Wailord, and within 3 turns, you should have won the game. I know it only does 10 to the active, but you're doing 100 to all the bench, you should be fine. Outside of that, I still think there's a couple of really good options. One of my favorites here is Glaceon. Now, Glaceon's got a GX attack that basically does 50 damage for each damage counter on the opponent's Pokemon. So if you've just got something simple like Shrine of Punishment out spreading a little bit of damage, or something like the new Noivern that for 1 colorless energy does 20 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon, you should then be just getting straight KOs with Glaceon for the rest of the game. And now you can do it several times. I think this card makes Glaceon significantly better. Like, quite a lot better here. I also quite like the idea of reusing Keldeo Gx's GX attack. Keldeo Gx just does 50 damage for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So if they've got a decent-sized bench, Keldeo gets a big one-hit KO, and hopefully, just for you anyway, just keeps going. Not to mention, it's got the ridiculous ability that gives it immunity from GX Pokemon. That could be pretty gosh darn good, ladies and gentlemen. EX does well, but we're mostly talking standard format here. And the other one I really like the look of is Kingdra. Now, Kingdra is a stage 2, and that's really awkward, but 1 water energy, 40 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. Spreading 40 is huge. That is double what we were just doing with Noivern. But it doesn't do too much on its own. But when you can potentially be doing this every turn, you just keep rolling. Now, to quickly kind of just finish up looking through the rest of them, do a little bit of a speed round, as it were, just running through the last of these GXs that we've got. So we've got Palkia that for 5 energy does 150, shuffles all energy from each of your opponent's Pokemon into their deck. I mean, it gets rid of all their energy, that might be fun to do more than once. Greninja for 3 energy does 130 to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Articuno for 1 water energy discards all energy from both active Pokemon. Could be quite nice in those stall decks it gets played in to just get rid of all your opponent's energy. Suicune Gx does 150 and switches to the bench. It's largely underwhelming. Blastoise allows you to attach as many water energy from your hand as you like. Now, on the one hand, I love this because Misty and Lorei actually puts a lot of water energy in your hand ready to attack. And on the other hand, I don't want to use my GX attack to accelerate energy. Thank you very much. I'd much rather use the other Blastoise. We've got Starmie that for 1 water energy does 40 and then 40 more for each water energy attached to it. And then we've got the Gyarados that just came out, 4 energy, 240. Which, to be fair, is an awful lot of damage for, frankly, not that much energy. It works out quite nicely. And actually, to be fair, there is one other Water GX that I did forget to mention until now, at least, and that is the Greninja Gx from Detective Pikachu, which is some kind of weird promo one, and that's got a GX attack as well, given that it is, of course, a GX Pokemon. 1 water energy, put one of your opponent's bench Pokemon and all cards attached to it into your opponent's hand. It is, it's not stunning, I'll be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen. it is not the best one that we've ever seen. So that's a quick rundown of all the Water Tag Team GXs and regular GXs and their GX attacks. But the point of this very simply is it gives you extra GX attacks, and that is amazing. And obviously it's a regular supporter, you can get it back with stuff like Power Pad, etc. I'm giving this 5 Wassies. I don't know how good it's going to be and how much play it's going to see. It really depends on your Water GXs. And if we do get more Water GXs in the future, this is only going to get better and better and better. For the time being, I'm kind of in love with this. This is awesome. If nothing else, it is an incredibly interesting ability, a very interesting card, and it's one that we really don't see very much at all. But I would like to know what you think about it, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassiePlays, where we talk about a whole bunch of games that don't even have any Pokemon in. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.